I'm afraid of heights, right? I'm scared shitless. I don't like being scared of stuff. I like to face it. So I went hang gliding. I know what the title says. Trust me, it's a love story. It's funny because when I went on my roof, it's like 40 feet up and it's scary. But when I'm in a plane, I'm not scared. And I think it's because when I look outside, it looks more like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. The trees look like broccoli and the cars look like toys. One of the first questions I asked was, do you have a parachute? Because I've flown kites before where it's doing like this, then all of a sudden it bam! I didn't want to be on that kite. He told me, yeah, I got parachutes. We went out there, the girls went first, and then I went. I didn't notice a parachute on the hang glider, which had me feel like, hey man, what the f? But I'm in my head like, yo, the girls just went up. You can't not go now. And the guy's alive, so he's got a 100% track record. It's funny because after we went up and came down, I'm like, yo, listen, I don't mean to be but I asked you on the phone if you got a parachute, and I don't see shit. And then he showed me on his chest he had a parachute, and I was like, oh. Again, I'm scared, but you get tied in to this harness that attaches to his, and then you guys lay down. So I'm laying on top of him, and then I'm supposed to grab these straps around his waist, which is awkward for two straight men. And I'm like, I don't want to be hugging on no man like this. Once you get up in the sky and you're a mile high, we be like, nah, man, this is my boo right here. I'm holding tight. And at some point, he's like, oh, you can hold on to the poles now. And I'm like, no, we go together. You and me, honey boo-boo. Big spoon, little spoon. I don't care what anybody says. I ain't letting go. And they attach a rope at the end of the hang glider to a plane, and the plane takes off and they're just gradually pulling us up. In the beginning, there was a couple of little bumps, but that's it. After that, he's just flying us in circles, getting us higher and higher, wide circles. At a certain point, he hits a lever and it detaches the line and you're flying. You know how when you're in an airplane flying somewhere, you look outside and you're going over the clouds, you just want to put your hands through it? I got to do that. He did this thing where he pushes on it. When you push on it, it sends the nose up. And then he pulls on it and it sends the nose straight down. That scared a little bit of poop into my butt, I'm not gonna lie. And the second time I was like, yo, listen, do everything you did before except for that up down. And he was like, oh, okay, I got you. And when we were up there, he was like, you ready? And I'm like, ready for what? He pushed on it, sent us up, and then he just let go of it. You can hear me saying, no, and him going, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The first one scared me more because the second time, he had already taught me how to fly it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to turn this way, you pull it like that. If you want to go that way, you pull it like that. And if you want to go straight up, you push. If you want to go straight down, you pull. And he had already had my hands on the glider and I already knew to push up. So we kind of like leveled out before we got a chance to drop the way he wanted to drop me. Here's the crazy shit. You learn things as you go. He said that the longest flight ever was, I don't know, something like 17 hours. And I'm like, how high up do you have to be for that? He said, no, it's not about getting high. You gotta find pockets. So in the earth, there are pockets where hot air comes up. Like in that movie After Earth, where you saw there were little pockets of warmth and everything else froze over. Well, the earth has areas where the heat is rising and it pushes the air up. So if you ever look at a bird, they just look like they're going in a circle. What they're doing is they flap to get to a certain point and then they find a pocket of warm air and they ride that up. That's why they're going in circles. Sometimes they're hunting, but sometimes they're just following that hot air cone all the way up and then they glide, just like the hang glider. Can you imagine falling from a mile in the sky and this is how smooth your landing is? Here's where the love story part comes in, right? This guy looks like Ed Harris. I think he's like 50, something like that. And his girlfriend, Silviana, is an Indonesian model. I think they're around the same age. He told me he wasn't getting along with his wife, so he just left. He got a divorce, which is crazy to me because a lot of people, as you get older, you start thinking, this is a person I'm stuck with. I can't get any better, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting older, I might as well settle down, deal with this. This guy's inspirational because he was just like, man, I don't care what age I'm at. I don't care what the situation is. If I'm not happy, I'm not gonna stay there, which is brilliant to me because people start to think as they get older they should compromise. Don't compromise your happiness. Because if you say, oh, I'm getting older, yeah, that's exactly why you shouldn't. If you only got 3 years left, 10 years left, why waste any of them being miserable? What happened was he ended up linking up with this girl, and like his girl looks out for him with everything. They're just really tight. This was a crazy experience. You can go to the bar, get some drinks, you can get high, whatever. But if you just put $1.10 away every single day for the year, you'll be able to do that. So double up, do 2 1/4 a day. You'll do it twice a year. Learn to see what this world has to offer. Gain a different perspective. Go to
anger3.net.
and you're looking for Tom and Sylviana. I promise you're gonna have a good time, man.
I was addicted to money, we run in your house and we coming to take all your shit. I was in love with that baby, but I ain't the type of nigga to be saving no. I had a dream that I had to believe in, I knew that one day it would make me rich. You got that feeling like I got that feeling, and you should be going to get on your shit. I was addicted to money, we run in your house and we coming to take all your shit. I was in love with that baby, but I ain't the type of nigga to be saving no. I had a dream that I had to believe in, I knew that one day it would make me rich. You got that feeling like I got that feeling, and you should be going to get on your shit. I had a dream that I had to believe in, and you niggas hating and sucking on all of my comments with all of this drama, it really don't even be making no sense. You niggas worse than my own baby mama, you acting so tough, but you really up tough, but you this is the theater, you niggas keep acting until I react and I empty the clip. I'm on a mission, they give me some chicken, I'm tired of police always taking my pick. You got a problem, just keep it 100, you shouldn't be afraid to say what it is. I put my heart in the hustle and music, and now I'm on top and it's making me rich. This snitching and getting rewarded, it's really OD and it's making me sick. Give me the work and I'm making it flip. Me and Diego was taking no trips. 100 a gram and I paid 26. Me and Marquis, we was running the crib. Like a marathon running your shit. Why you mad, Weez? Why you mad? I was down, now I'm up now, and I bust down on the popular. I was addicted to money, we run in your house and we coming to take all your shit. I was in love with that baby, but I ain't the type of nigga to be saving no. I had a dream that I had to believe.